Hey guys, so this is gonna be a quick video just to show the certain game mechanic and certain build approach rather than the build guide video. So a couple days ago I couldn't decide between Flame Dash build and CwC Crit Discharge build because I knew that Discharge build will not be very smooth and may not actually work the way I would hope. So I just remade my older character into CwC Crit Discharge build. If it was non-crit, it would be pretty easy to make it with Romira's Banquet ring, and every non-critical hit would generate power charge, but you end up losing a lot of damage because of that, because you cannot crit, and since you cannot even crit, you cannot even trigger elemental overload. So I wanted to try a crit build, and this is Trickster just for extra power and frenzy charge, and also power and frenzy charge on kill. And then I'm using these boots for a chance to gain maximum power charge when I gain power charge. And of course I'm using power charge on crit support jump. In this first version I did try to make it smoother by adding another skill inside the casual channeling, which is Flame Dash in this case, because if I discharge every 0.3 seconds I wouldn't have enough time to generate power charges and my discharge would do little damage. And also it does feel a bit smoother when you have movement ability, however Flame Dash just doesn't have enough cooldown. Well, the mapping doesn't feel that bad, but against single target you can definitely see the damage is kinda bad. Until I finally hit maximum power charges and discharge all at once, and you can see the boss life just being chunked away. Next I tried replacing Flame Dash with Lightning Warp, because Lightning Warp doesn't have cooldown, but it does, well, it still feels like it has cooldown because you cannot Lightning Warp again before you finish your Lightning Warp. So that also didn't feel very good for mapping, and of course was pretty bad for bossing. So next I tried using ball lighting instead of Lightning Warp, but then build becomes more of a casual channeling ball lighting build than discharge. And also a problem with ball lighting is that either all hits are critical or none of them are critical. It doesn't roll a separate critical strike chance on every hit, and the ball lighting damage did feel a bit weak, so in the end I didn't like that setup either. And then lastly I decided to try Orb of Storms instead of ball lighting. Since you drop Orb of Storms under your feet almost, and it has almost the same AoE, and if you are channeling or casting another lightning spell inside Orb of Storm AoE, Orb of Storm triggers more often. And since it is linked to the same setup with power charge on crit, then Orb of Storms would, at least should, help me generate power charges as well. And this setup definitely felt much better than the previous ones, but against single target it still felt very unreliable. By the way, I was using 6-link Impulsa because, well, I don't really have a lot of AoE and I needed a bit of extra boom for clear speed. Also, I was using 1 Shimmeron Wand and 1 Void Battery. 1 was Mark on Hit Ring, 2 Sucker Thumb Fist for visuals, mostly for the life. But then again, it's not really about the damage, but about the reliability of generating power charges for this. So here's the problem with this setup and this idea. First, you don't have 100% chance to crit. Then, even if you crit, you don't have 100% chance to generate power charge. And then when you crit and generate power charge, you don't have 100% chance to generate maximum power charges. So it ends up being like triple RNG based build. And I try to think of some other ways to make it more reliable, but I just don't think that there is a way for that. Even if you had 100% chance to generate power charge on crit, you would still not have 100% chance to generate maximum power charges on crit. And for that to work better, more reliably, you would need at least 4 casts per 0.7 seconds. Because that's how much it takes to trigger 2 spells with 1 casual channeling setup. So I meant not 4 casts per 0.7 seconds, but 4 power charge generation per 0.7 seconds. And when you combine all that RNG, you would need so much cast speed, it's probably even impossible. And even if it is possible, you would probably not have enough mana. So in the end, I think it's just not worth trying crit, casual channeling discharge build. I even bought 6 linked, basically pseudo 7 link staff before testing in Pathful building that it would have less damage than 6 link Impulsa. So that's about all. I will include Pathful building import code in the description in case you want to mess with this build. And for the next build I already started Flame Dash build. Yeah, I think we need to buff Flame Dash. And I'm gonna use Flame Dash for clear speed and even gonna attempt Shaper. But that's gonna take 2 or 3 more days. So until then, thank you for watching and see you soon.